Death has a special allure for humans, and a significant part of this interest may derive from the fact that the majority of us are simply unable to grasp death in its totality. In point of fact, the answer to the question, "What does it feel like when you die?" is primarily that we do not really know. This is mostly due to the fact that there are not a lot of methods to collect this information. However, scientists do have some educated assumptions about what happens after death by drawing their conclusions through studies on near-death experiences and by listening to individuals narrate their first-hand encounters with the afterlife. And if you're like most humans and have fallen victim to morbid curiosity, we thought you'd like to know what it actually feels like when you die. A diminished capacity for both hunger and thirst. In the days, weeks, or months before you die, your appetite may drastically diminish. There is a possibility that your digestive system may have a more difficult time digesting the food that you consume, and you could completely lose your appetite at some point in the future. We are taught by our primary caregivers from the moment we are born that being breastfed or fed is an act of love, in addition to being a necessity for our life. Because of this, the people who care about you may demand that you consume food. When the amount of food you eat may be too much for your digestive system to manage, your healthcare practitioner will be able to give you information on when it's advisable to utilize artificial feeding devices such as a feeding tube. Extra hours in bed and fewer hours spent being active. When you're dying, you don't sleep to just recharge your mind and body. Instead, you sleep because your body doesn't have the energy for activity. And one of the reasons is that your heart loses some of its ability to pump blood that is rich in oxygen throughout the rest of your body. If you don't get enough oxygen, the cells in your body won't be able to produce the amount of energy you need to be awake and active for extended periods of time. Therefore, the process of passing away requires a lot of rest. Deterioration of your skin and muscular tissue. It is normal for people who are dying to experience a loss of weight as well as muscular mass. Even simple activities like conversing may tire your muscles if you position yourself improperly in bed. Your skin will become thinner as a result of the decreased rate at which your new skin cells can replace dead ones. Also, a person with thin skin is more likely to suffer from bruising, wounds, and bed sores. Your loved ones and members of your care team may check for signs of infection on your skin and move you as necessary to prevent your body from coming into prolonged contact with the surface of your bed. They may provide you with frequent moisturizing to assist in protecting your skin from damage. Inability to control your bowel and bladder. Because of your sluggish digestive system, you can have trouble passing stools as your condition worsens. People who are nearing the end of their lives often suffer from the symptom of constipation. You may also have less control over the muscles in your pelvic floor, which are what enable you to regulate the frequency and timing of your urination. Constipation may be alleviated with the use of stool softeners. The use of medical equipment, such as Foley catheters, that enables you to urinate, and supplies such as incontinence pads may help you maintain a clean bed. You might experience a lot of thoughts and feelings. When a person is towards the end of their life, the brain actually becomes more active. Research that was conducted in 2013 and published in PNAS indicates that just before passing away, there is a spike of activity in the brain. It is possible that this is what is responsible for the characteristics that are shared by people who have had near-death experiences, such as seeing visitors of the past, seeing a brilliant light that they are traveling towards, or even their consciousness leaving their own bodies. Deteriorating vital signs or symptoms of irregularity. Your temperature, pulse rate, respiratory rate, and blood pressure are all vital signs. organs. These values provide insight into the condition of organs that are critical to your continued existence, such as your lungs, heart, and brain. Your body temperature declines as you near death, and the sensation of coldness or dampness on your skin is common at this time. Because your important organs are still working to keep you alive, even if you are very close to passing away, others may be erratic. Also, your breathing rate will gradually slow down as you get closer to the last few hours of your life. Withdrawal and separation. It is natural to have less interest in the things that you formerly enjoyed as you are nearing the end of your life. It's possible that you like your own company more than socializing with others. Simply because you have a desire for less engagement with other people does not indicate that you love your friends and family members any less. In other words, as your body goes through different stages, so do your requirements. Agitation. There is a possibility that the end of one's life is drawing near when one experiences sudden spurts of energy or a sense of restlessness after extended periods of sleep. You can believe that you are able to do tasks that are outside the scope of your actual capabilities. You could make an effort to get out of bed or remove necessary medical equipment such as an IV, and there's a chance that the people who are trying to help you may end up driving you crazy with their overzealousness. Lapses into unconsciousness at various times. It's possible that when death draws near, you'll find yourself slipping from sleep into unconsciousness, similar to when you were in a coma or a dream, or that you'll wake up later and have no idea that you were unconscious. In the end, your body will enter a state of deep relaxation and unconsciousness. According to research, even if your body is going through the process of entering unconsciousness, it is feasible that you will still be able to feel the reassuring touches of your loved ones and hear what they are saying. However, when we pass away, we will, unfortunately, lose our capacity for touch and hearing last. Changes in how you perceive your surroundings. It's possible that your brain is processing sensory information, what you see, hear, smell, etc., in a different way than it did in the past. For instance, a sound that was originally unremarkable could now be seen as unsettling or menacing. It's possible that you'll confuse one individual with another, or it's possible that you'll pick up on things that the folks around you don't seem to notice. These nuances in perception could be easier to see when viewed in the dark as opposed to the light of day. According to the findings of some research, when death is drawing near, your brain produces a rush of hormones that may heighten your senses, causing you to enter a state of heightened awareness or even hyperreality. People who are close to death, for instance, often report seeing a brilliant light in their last moments. They could picture themselves embarking on a trip in which they would meet a departed family member or a friend along the way. Changes in your breathing. Your pattern of breathing might provide a good indication of how near you are to passing away. Breathing that is not predictable is often a symptom of deteriorating health or death, in contrast to regular, steady breathing, which is a sign of life and good health. You may spend longer stretches of time without breathing as your death draws closer. If there is a buildup of saliva in the back of your throat because the muscles in your throat aren't strong enough to swallow, you may produce a rattling sound when you breathe. This noise is often referred to as a death rattle, meaning at some point in the future, you will breathe your very last breath. The act of dying in itself can be a complicated process for the human body to comprehend, both for the individual as well as their loved ones. But seeing death as a series of events makes it much easier to understand the changes that take place in your body as you near the conclusion of your life. From the moment you take your first breath until the moment you take your last, the act of dying is the ultimate and most important function that your body performs for you. But what happens after you've died? Is there an afterlife, or are you immediately reborn? I guess these questions are for another Mind Marvel.